You're ready, I think we're ready to proceed.
Meeting will please come to order. This is a duly advertised meeting of the Joliet Zoning Board of Appeals. In our capacity, we hear petitions for relief from the strict provisions of a city ordinance. In matters of this type, the decision of the board is final in respect it does not go to the mayor or the city council for any further action. If you disagree with our decision, you do have recourse in a court of record. We also hear petitions for variations of land use. In matters of this type, we act as an advisory board to the mayor and city council, making a recommendation either for or against it. Final decision on land use is made by the mayor and the city council. Secretary, please call the roll.
Ms. Sanford?
Here.
Mr. Alessio? Mr. McShane?
Here.
Mr. Nactry?
Here.
Mr. Riggs?
Here.
Ms. Rohr?
Here.
Mr. Hennessy?
Here.
First order of business would be the approval of minutes from the October 21st Zoning Board of Appeals meeting.
No one has any suggestions or amendments. A motion would be in order to approve.
Motion to approve.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Poll the board.
Mr. McShane?
Aye.
Mr. Nactry?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Ms. Rohr?
Aye.
Ms. Sanford?
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy?
Aye.
Next order of business would be citizens to be heard on agenda items. This section is for anyone wanting to speak regarding items listed on the agenda. Anyone speaking on an agenda item is entitled to speak for a maximum of 4 minutes. It is not a question and answer period, and staff from the Zoning Board of Appeals does not generally respond to public comments. Please note, speakers who engage in conduct injurious to the harmony of the Zoning Board of Appeals shall be called to order by the presiding officer, may forfeit their opportunity to speak. If there's anybody that would want to speak on agenda items, you can now, but you also can when the agenda item is called. Is there anybody that would like to speak now? Seeing none, we can move on to the agenda. Next order of business would be old business for public hearing. We have none. Next agenda item is new business for public hearing. First petition we have is 2021-60. The applicant is William Holly. He's from Bright Light Sign Company, and he's on behalf of Portillo's Hot Dogs LLC. The owner of the property is North Wyndham Properties. Location is 1444 North Larkin Avenue, and the request is a series of variations. The purpose, the applicant is requesting a series of variations on signage for the property located at 1444 North Larkin Avenue. Variation requests include a variance for signs that do not face a public way and variance for exceeding the maximum area of a ground sign. The ZBA makes the final decision for this variation request. Under site-specific information, subject property is located in the Northridge Plaza Shopping Center along Larkin Avenue. Subject property was formerly the site of the International House of Pancake Restaurant, which was demolished in 2021 to make way for a new Portillo's restaurant. Property is 22,723 square feet in size. Property is zoned B3 General Business. Under surrounding zoning, land use, and character, to the north is B3 Commercial. To the south, east, and west is the same, B3 General Business Commercial. Under applicable regulations, 4717.21 is signs. 4717.213BB is criteria for granting a sign variation, and there's an attachment that you could refer to. Under discussion, Portillo's is constructing a restaurant that features a new business model, which is a drive-through and walk-up only concept. There will be no interior seating for dining at this location. The signage site plan and sign elevations for all signs for the new restaurant included as part of the application packet. The applicant requests variances to allow signs C, D, and F that are displayed because they will not face a public street. City of Joliet's zoning ordinance only allows signs that face a public street in the B3 zoning district. Signs C and D will be located on the south elevation and will identify the pickup area for walk-up and curbside service, as well as allow for the business to have more exposure to northbound traffic on Larkin Avenue. Sign F will be a 126.83 feet long by 4 feet high series of sign panels that advertise Portillo's products along the drive-through path at the northeast corner of the property. The sign wall requires 2 variance approvals since it does not face a public street, and its 507.32 square foot size exceeds the 150 square foot maximum size for a ground sign. All other signage for this location meets city sign requirements and have been permitted. Under conditions, we have none, and that concludes our staff report.
Petitioner present? Want to come forward, please? I must swear you in. You swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth under penalty of law.
I do.
Name and address, please.
My name is William Holly. My address is 310 Tulsa Road, Lake Zurich, Illinois.
Any comments you'd like to make?
Well, as previously mentioned, Portillo's is starting a new business model at this location, which will be walk-up and drive-through only. So there will be no interior seating. We are proposing a sign over their entrance door that would be for Portillo's walk-up customers that would be placing orders by phone and then walking up to receive their food. And obviously they're putting that sign over the entranceway for 2 reasons. One, to get exposure on northbound lanes of Larkin Avenue, as well as to allow their customers to know where to pick up their food. The drive-through is as you may know, that this is going to be a multiple lane drive-through, and they expect heavy traffic, through that drive-through. They are proposing a series of sign panels along the perimeter of that drive-through that will show, some of the menu items that Portillo's has. The idea behind these signs is to obviously give people some insight as to what they would be ordering, once they get to the drive-through window, to expedite the cars going through that drive-through as opposed to stopping at the menu and having to go through it there. The purpose also would be to kind of limit some of the traffic headlights and things that would shine outside of that drive-through into the remaining parts of the shopping center. So those are the 2 items that we are here for this afternoon.
Okay, this carryouts only, can people come inside to order and carry it out rather than have to wait in line for,
That is correct, yes. People can come inside to order and carry out.
but there's no seating inside?
There is no seating inside, no.
Anybody else have any questions by the board?
There is also no seating outside, is that the case?
That is correct.
How many people could go inside and order? I mean, how big is it?
Well, this is a newer store. I just visited the site before I came here. They're obviously still under construction. At this point, it's difficult to tell. I would have to assume that the majority of the store is going to be kitchen area, but the lobby portion of the store is not yet built. And quite honestly, this one being the first one, I have not had the opportunity to see one of these stores. So I can't specifically state how large that lobby area would be. Portillo's obviously does a pretty large business. Obviously, they expect the drive-through to carry the majority of their business. But if I had to simply guess, I would say we're probably looking at maybe 15 feet by 20 or 30 feet maybe inside from the registers.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I know that if you take an example like Mr. Sub there on Jefferson Street, it's really faster to go inside in order than to wait in line. In fact, they actually got, looks like a bowling alley. They got 5 lanes of traffic going on.
Yeah.
So I was wondering how many people you would have at the counter for counter service. I mean, if you just had one person there.
Yeah, I would say counter service would be limited. I believe the pickup portion of that facility would be mostly for call-in orders, quite honestly. I assume that if people are there, to order food, it would probably most likely be a drive-through, choice, because, obviously you can't eat inside anyway. So, I believe that pickup would be for, mostly for phone-in orders.
So there'd be just one pickup lane
Well, there wouldn't be any pickup lanes.
if you're in the car going around?
Well, no, I believe there's 3 lanes going around, yeah.
Okay, how many cars could wait in line there? How much backup can you have?
Oh, wow, based on the size of the lot and the drive-through, obviously it would be an estimate, but I would say on their property, you could probably have as many as, 40, maybe 50 cars.
Yeah, because that's right at the entrance into the whole portion there. If cars are backed up on that main drive coming in, it would really impair traffic.
Yeah, it certainly would, and I have to assume that has to do with the way they are, located, or where they're locating the drive-through. It does sweep around the back of the building, and it starts, I would say, mid-building and goes all the way around to the south side of that building. And then, facing, south, I believe that is where the cars would exit. And there's quite a bit of, parking lot there prior to entering the drive-through. And the drive-through lanes on their own would probably hold about half of those cars, maybe more, quite honestly, with the 3, drive-through lanes. And then they would have, I would say 100, 150 feet, maybe a little more, of parking lot space that those cars would be able to, be, waiting before entering the drive-through.
Well, we're here about the signage anyway, so any other comments by the board? Anybody in the audience wishing to speak in favor? Is there anyone opposed? Chair closes petition, the floor, and asks the board for discussion and a motion.
I move we approve.
Second.
We have a motion, a second, to approve the petition. Poll the board, please.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Ms. Rohr?
Aye.
Ms. Sanford?
Aye.
Mr. McShane?
Aye.
Mr. Nockery?
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy?
Aye, thank you, sir.
You're welcome, thank you very much.
And that vote is final. That does not go to city council. Next item under new business would be petition number 2021-61. The applicant is Karen Dodge. She's from Municipal Solutions on behalf of Smoothie King. The owner is Parth Patel. Location is 2504 West Jefferson Street. Request is a variation on signage. Purpose is the applicant, who is the agent for Smoothie King, is requesting a variation on signage to allow a wall sign on the east elevation that does not face a public way. And this is located at 2504 West Jefferson Street. The ZBA again makes the final decision for this variation request. Under site-specific information, the subject property is Lot 1 of the new created 2504 Jefferson Street subdivision, which was approved by the City Council on October 19th, 2021 of this year. Subject property was previously part of Lot 8 of the Menards Joliet subdivision, which was approved and recorded in June 2003. Murphy's Gas Express was built on the east side of Lot 8 in 2017. This vacant lot is 30,187 square feet in size, and the property is zoned B3 General Business. Surrounding zoning, land use, and character: to the north is commercial, which is a Chase Bank in Zone B3. To the south is commercial, and that's Menards, I-1 Light Industrial. To the east is commercial, Murphy's Express, B3 General Business, and to the west is commercial, which is the Bell Tire, and that's also B3. Under applicable regulations, 4717.21 signs, and again, 4717.213BB criteria for granting a sign variation. And again, attachment is available. Under discussion, the Smoothie King is in the process of building a new specialty beverage business at this location. They propose a sign which will be the company logo on the east elevation of their building to allow for more visibility to traffic in the private drive along the north elevation. City of Joliet zoning ordinance only allows signs that face a public street in the B3 General Business zoning district. Therefore, the applicant seeks a variance to allow a sign that does not face a public way on the east elevation of the proposed business. Approval of the variation request would allow a 48 square foot crown logo on the east elevation. Crown logo is repeated on the north and west elevations as well. Other businesses in the Menards Joliet subdivision and along Jefferson Street have been granted variances over the recent years for signage that does not face a public way. The other new signage for this location meets sign city requirements and have been permitted. All new signage, including the sign subject to this variation request, would amount to 250 square feet of signage at this property. Property is allowed up to 736 square feet of signage. Signage, site plan, and sign elevations for all signs for the business are included as part of the application package. Under conditions, we have none, and that concludes our staff report.
Petitioner here? Do you swear the evidence you're about to present to be the truth under penalty of law?
I do.
Name and address.
Tracy Stahl, 661 Reserve Court, South Pleasant, Illinois. Simply as stated, I'm here representing JNS Electric and Sign and Karen Dodge, who submitted the variance application on behalf of Smoothie King and Park Patel. Simply stated, as you went through earlier, it's a quite busy area there for a new location, and they'd like to take advantage of the east wall, where there's quite a bit of blockage from view from all the businesses, firstly on all four sides of this building. They're just asking for the variance to have the additional sign on the east side.
Okay, any questions by the board? Comments? Anyone in the audience wishing to speak in favor? Anyone opposed? Chair closes petition and asks the board for discussion and a motion.
Motion to approve.
Seconded.
Oh.
Gotta be faster.
Who made the second here? We have a motion and a second to approve the petition. Pull the board.
Ms. Flor,
Aye.
Ms. Sanford,
Aye.
Mr. McShane,
Aye.
Mr. Noctre,
Aye.
Mr. Riggs,
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy.
Aye. Thank you. Nice presentation.
That's also final. Next order of business under new business is 2021-62. The applicant owner is Juan Romero. Location is 419 Oneida Street. Request is a variation. The applicant is requesting a variation to reduce the front yard setback from 30 feet to 8.5 feet to allow the construction of a second-story addition, covered front porch to an existing single-family home at 419 Oneida Street. Zoning Board of Appeals makes a final decision in this matter. Under site-specific information, the subject property consists of a double lot that is 12,115 square feet in size and is zoned R2 single-family residential. The pre-1900 house on the property is 1.5 stories in height and has 1,335 square feet of living space. The house appears to have been built with a one-story porch that spanned the front facade, and most of this porch enclosed prior to 1898. Property includes a detached garage with access from the rear alley. Under surrounding zoning, land use, and character, the property is located in the Upper Bluff National Register District and is located among other 1- and 2-story pre-1900 homes. Some of the original single-family homes in the general vicinity have been divided into multifamily housing. Land use and zoning for the adjacent properties are as follows. To the north is R2 single-family residential and there's single-family homes. To the south is R4 low-density residential and R2 single-family residential, and there's multifamily homes and single-family homes. To the east is R2, with single-family homes. To the west also is R2 with single-family homes. Under applicable regulations, section 47.6.4, R2 single-family residential yard and lot requirements, and also section 47-19.8, criteria for granting a variation, and you could refer to the attachment. Under discussion, the applicant seeks to remodel this house by creating a full second story to the existing 1.5-story home, redesigning their overall first floor layout, and adding a 1-story, 21-foot by 6-foot covered porch on the front facade. Floor plans and building elevations for the proposed project are included in the staff report packet. The new second story would add a master bedroom and full bath. Redesigned first floor would add a powder room and laundry room. The existing house does not comply with the 30-foot front yard setback requirement in the R2 zoning district. Zoning ordinance allows pre-existing nonconformities to remain as long as the structures are not enlarged or altered in a way that increases their nonconformity. Therefore, the applicant must obtain variations because the structure's pre-existing nonconformities will be increased by the construction of the second floor addition, as well as the addition of a 21-foot wide by 6-foot deep roofed front porch. Staff has concerns with the variance request to reduce the existing non-conforming front setback from 14 feet 6 inches to 8 foot 6 inches for the addition of a front porch to the house, as it will set a precedent for allowing future encroachments where there is no hardship. This double lot, which is 12,115 square feet in size, has sufficient depth and width on the other 3 sides. In addition, staff conducted an analysis of building setbacks in the immediate vicinity and found very few examples of front yard setbacks as shallow as 8 foot 6 inches. If the zoning board desires to approve these variation requests to allow the construction of the second floor addition and front porch to the existing single-family house, following conditions should be included. 1, that the existing gravel driveway be paved prior to the issuance of a certificate of completion, and 2, that a building permit shall be obtained prior to construction. And that concludes our staff report.
Petitioner present? Do you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth under penalty of law? Name and address, please.
Juan Romero, address 419 Signage Street. The reason I'm gonna do this variant, based on the property, because the house, old house, our is built, so I wanted to build a porch, a little bit, and out. So I started out to build that in the second floor. And the standing porch is over 6 feet up, from 6 feet out, because I want to sit in there, keep sitting in there. Because the house is gonna, I'm gonna pretty much do the whole thing. It's a lot of work, so it might as well do it right. That's what I do.
How long have you owned the property?
Like 3 months. I just got it out. I just got the whole thing down and stuff. And I find out it's a lot of things that need to be done. So that's why it's not solid, might as well look at it. Reframe whatever needs to reframe, whatever needs to attach to reinforce frame. So, but if I don't do any, like, sit there in the front of the house, the walls go straight to second story, I start to do a little bit, shallow. That's why I have to do like it's kind of forced to be up. If you guys didn't do it.
Okay, thank you. Comments?
Another question. I know the driveway in the back of the alley, the garage, like how the waste has to get broken. And I know, well, this is my concern. I'm gonna do a lot of concrete work. If I'm gonna do concrete, because like halfway is concrete, halfway is rubble. So I'm gonna finish on concrete. Sidewalk by the garage, sidewalk around the house, close to that. So I was gonna do quite a bit of work. So I just wanted to get up.
Any comments by the board?
I have a question, Mr. Romero. The house originally did have a porch, which now I guess is in the front room.
You got it right. That will have a porch.
Just the reduction in the setback is troublesome, I think, to a lot of us for several reasons. You also own the lot to the east. What, do you have a plan for that lot, or will you leave it vacant, or?
Well, because the way this real estate business going on right now, my layout on the house is gonna rebuild. I'm gonna put my kitchen and my porch, like that porch, right inside the lot. But not gonna be that big of a porch, only because the real estate going up high, the way to go so often, really fast.
I'm gonna build a second house on that lot.
Can or cannot? I'm sorry, just simply, I missed some of what you said. You may put a house on the second lot?
I put a second house next year in that one.
Okay,
But I don't know for sure yet, because I don't know how soon, because the market stays the same, what is it right now, we're going up or going down.
okay. The reason I ask is if you were not going to, you could put a very nice porch on the east side of the house rather than the front, and then get rid of this problem of the reduced setback, and do maybe the entrance to the existing house on that side. There are several houses, or many houses in Joliet that are built that way, where the front door is not facing the street.
Facing sideways, like the side of the house. The front end facing like on the front, like inside the house, not in the front.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna look like kind of weird, no?
Well, it's somewhat unusual, but there are many, including some very fine old houses in the cathedral area that are built that way. And that would eliminate this problem of the setback. The setback requirement is for several reasons. Being too close to the street can be hazardous, and in terms of privacy, it's difficult. And in terms of how it looks with all the other houses which are set back more properly, it makes you stick out like a sore thumb, which is not good. So it just seems to me you are in a good position, having completely gutted the inside of this place and discovering that there are lots and lots of problems, that
It's got a,
that possibly you could extend the back of the house and leave the front of the house where it is. And, maybe restore how the old porch was, although that's probably a little too difficult.
the reason I think about that too, but if I build a second house on the second vacant lot I got right now, I'm not gonna be able to do it.
Well, you could, but there's room behind this house. If you converted the garage to an attached garage, that little area between the houses could be
Could
be household.
But I don't have enough drainage in the lot, can I do that? If I build the garage attached to the house, I don't have enough drainage. Land. You know, that's the thing, because I need to have a certain amount of land for drainage.
Well, there's actually two elements to this petition. You've got the addition of the front porch and also the building of the second story. They're two separate things. Do you have a plan B if the porch is not allowed, that you could proceed on to further his argument? If, as far as design goes, granting the second floor, but not granting the front porch.
I see.
Could that be done architecturally?
Yeah, because I got a Nacho, he's the one who my.
'Cause that may be the way this ends up, so. I just want to know if you have any conceptual idea of how that could be accomplished.
Yeah, are you able to keep the floor plan, oh, sorry. Are you able to keep the floor plan that you have without the porch?
So 14, so
Yeah, the only thing, because they got like, when they build a house, they put a porch, and they conversion that, they take a partition wall, the second building, and the second floor, yes, not structure. They take the green wall, they take them out.
Okay,
So I guess the easy fix when I started to do all the demo is when I found out it has no support block, second floor storage. So I said, you know what, it's done. And I start looking at the floor is pitching down like this. So I take some soft floor on the living room, and I find out the wall is over here, and the outside wall is right here. So this part right here, the previous porch, has no foundation. So I gotta cut all this down, I gotta dig it around, put a footing on it, and going up to do it the right way. Because I do construction, this is my company, I got a company. I got a company named J&G General Organo. So I do this for business, for life, believe me. So this is what I'm like, oh, if you don't think it's a good idea to have a porch, can I do concrete? Just pour concrete 6 feet up, without roof on?
Any other comments? comments, questions?
Well, Mr. Romero has a question for us. If I understand what you said, you are asking, what if you just did say a patio in the front without the covering?
Not the roof on, just the tank,
I-
patio.
That may be a,
Patio 6 feet out, by the width of the house, 22 feet up, you know, with no roof on, and I can put a little canopy over the door, you know, attached to the structure of the house, without pushing the ground.
So it's I'm looking at your neighbor's house to the left of you, and that's kind of what he has. He doesn't have a canopy, but he has stairs going down
Yes,
that lead to the sidewalk. So that's what you're saying, right?
right, but if you look in the second, from my property, the second corner, northwest, that house is way up, far out. So what are gonna be? It is a white house, it's in the corner. Not the one next to
Oh,
me,
yeah.
the second house.
There's other houses that are out just.
Yeah, that one's for sale right now. And that one is way out, almost up to the street. And they gotta build up all the way up.
and doesn't that house also have the entrance door on the corner or on the side?
No, the entrance door is like kitty corner it does. You know, but the building is all the way out. It's way more out where
Yeah, you're saying it's elevated, right? And they have the
Yeah,
stairs
built up.
going down.
They got, there's a second house built up.
Oh, God.
And you'd be getting rid of that fence, right? Or that fence,
That fence is right in my property line.
yeah.
You know, maybe I can leave it, but I think it can be changed for something better. Because it's an old fence,
Yeah.
but I gotta put a fence up for private.
Any other comments from? You through?
I just had a question. Would a variance be necessary? I know it's a hypothetical, if he did what he described as Plan B to pour the concrete across.
Anything that's not a sidewalk, you're allowed to go 10 feet into your front setback with unroofed porch or patio. Sidewalks are different,
Okay.
but, so he's got that non-conforming setback right now at 14.6.
6.
So he's already into that setback. The typical required setback is 30 feet. So you're allowed to go into that normal 30-foot setback, an additional 10 feet with unroofed patio or porch.
Got it. So he's already over that. Okay.
If he's choosing to do that, maybe he should amend his petition and come back, would be my suggestion, so we know exactly what that plan might look like, if you want to entertain that.
Okay.
You know, but that would be, you know, tabling this one and then coming back next month if that's what he was choosing to do. So we have updated plans that we know exactly what's being proposed.
I
Would
think
you be
that,
willing to do that, sir?
Okay, if you're gonna come back next month with a better plan, or you guys work on it, I'm gonna be allowed to close the porch or just like patio?
just a patio.
This would be if you chose to amend your petition to just do a patio with some type of awning over a front door. You know, if you chose not to go either one of those routes and you just wanted the one setback variance to do the two-story, you can do that today. But that would be removing the front porch option altogether or a patio option.
What's gonna be when people come out of the front door?
You would have to redesign your plans to accommodate that. To again, come out, you'd have to come out the side, I mean, the front, yeah, I mean, even to do we would probably allow you just a small, stoop or,
Sidewalk?
yeah, like if you needed stairs down to the sidewalk, but it would just be just a small little
Sidewalk.
porch.
Well, that's a little porch. When people come out of the house, I need to have at least 3 feet sidewalk. Because they can be able to come out of the house,
hard to see your grade. You have one step down from your door when you walk out right now,
It's straight up.
straight out onto a sidewalk or to a porch, a little porch.
Sidewalk.
You're flush with the grade.
You touch with the ground,
Okay.
because my sidewalk is a little,
Okay.
little bit, but not much.
Well, yeah, if you left your front door facing the street, you could do a sidewalk directly out to a 3-foot sidewalk. We would allow you to do that.
Okay, let's do 3 feet. Can you do that 3 feet? And
Yeah, we don't need to get a variance for that. You know, you're getting a variance for your second-story addition only, no porch.
okay.
You understand?
Got
So-
no porch in the front, I understand, but the building ain't gonna straight up right now.
Yes,
Okay, that's okay.
if they
They agree.
grant that, so he's gonna remain at the 14 foot 6 inches, but he's gonna increase his second floor,
Okay, and my sidewalk is gonna be a sidewalk 3 feet.
3 feet, yeah.
And I'm gonna build up a canopy over the door,
Just like,
touch to the wall.
just over the door, like
Like an awning.
awning
Or like
or,
awning.
Well, let's
awning
just
or
make a
a small
motion
canopy.
subject to the staff approval for the design.
yeah, I
Move
mean,
on
that's fine. If he's not building a porch in front and he's just got some weather covering, like
And
an
allow you to
aluminum
proceed with your
canopy or
plans
awning.
and submit something to the staff showing what those plans will be and it's acceptable.
Okay.
That's all we need.
I call my architect to redone, you know what I mean?
Okay, and we'll give you the second floor.
Okay, thank you.
Your motion would be,
Wait,
is
wait,
anybody in the audience wishing to speak in favor? Is there anybody against it? Any other comments by the board? Chair closes. You got one?
I have no comment, no, no, I'm
Chair
happy.
closes the petition to the floor and asks the board for discussion and a motion.
So-
How you word this now.
That's what I was gonna say, so for the motion, this would be a motion to approve the 2-story straight-up construction only.
Right.
Right. So I'll make a motion to approve the 2-story construction only.
And plus, plans for a stoop of some kind that's acceptable.
To be
staff.
approved.
Well, staff indicate that we don't need a variance for the 3-foot.
No, we don't.
Okay, fine, go ahead then.
So it'd be a motion to approve the 2nd-story only.
Taking a story and remodel the whole house the way it's gonna be.
So we're not approving the building design, that'll be still through the city, but just the variance to build straight up.
Okay.
We have a second?
I'll make a second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the petition subject to the conditions stated. Hold the board.
Shane,
Aye.
Mr. Noctre,
Aye.
Mr. Riggs,
Aye.
Ms. Moore,
Aye.
Ms. Sanford,
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy.
Aye. Good luck with that, because that's gonna be a good improvement to the neighborhood. I'm sure all your neighbors are happy. I don't
probably
see anyone
very
here.
Yeah, because I did this funny how you expect me around in a lot of houses and this is one of my name here.
All right,
I
thank you.
never expected it's gonna be done like that, but I can make more, I gotta make more.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Okay, that one is finalized. Moving on to the next petition is 2021-63. The applicant is All In Campus LLC. The owner is the same. The location is west side of Chicago Street at Emerald Drive. Request is a special use permit. Under purpose, the applicant, who is the property owner, is requesting a special use permit to allow a truck and trailer parking, freight cartage, and truck and trailer repair, including bodywork and painting, at the property located on the west side of Chicago Street at Emerald Drive. City Council will make the final decision for this request upon the recommendation of the Zoning Board of Appeals. Under site-specific information, the property in question is located on the west side of Chicago Street at Emerald Drive. The Cadence Premier Logistics seeks to expand its business operations to the west side of Illinois 53 and Emerald Drive with a 66.581 acre development. In order to develop this new western campus of Cadence Premier Logistics, the applicant is also seeking approval of a zoning reclassification of 5.46 acres and annexation of 61.45 acres at the November 18th Plan Commission meeting later this afternoon. The applicant also intends to seek approval of a preliminary plat of subdivision and vacations of unbuilt right-of-way to move forward with their overall concept plan for this western campus at a future date. Concept plan is included with the staff report packet. The proposed zoning for the development of the western campus is I-1 light industrial. Under surrounding zoning, land use and character, to the north is unincorporated Will County zoning, which is a residential use at this time. To the south is B3 general business and I-1 light industrial, and there's medical office in undeveloped land. To the east is unincorporated Will County zoning, I-1 light industrial, and that's residential and truck maintenance uses. To the west is I-2 general industrial zoning, and there is a quarry. Under applicable regulations, section 4713.2AG, special uses for B3 general business districts, and section 47.5.2C, criteria for issuance of a special use permit, and you can see the attachment. Under discussion, Cadence Premier Logistics, a trucking and logistics company, operates a multi-use development along the northeast and southeast corners of Illinois 53 and Emerald Drive. Company seeks to expand its business operations to the west side of Illinois 53 and Emerald Drive with a 66.581 acre development. Concept plan for this western campus of Cadence Premier Logistics includes land that is currently under other ownership. Concept plan for this future western campus includes a truck and trailer parking marshaling center with 350 trailer stalls and 366 tractor trailer stalls, a 202,500 square foot multi-tenant warehouse with office space that will have approximately 90 loading docks, 112 truck stalls, and 160 vehicle stalls, and a 299,200 square foot multi-use pit stop facility that includes a 7-bay truck and trailer repair operation, new and used truck and trailer sales, parts storage, and restaurant. This facility will have approximately 190 vehicle parking stalls, 66 truck parking stalls, and 58 loading docks. City of Joliet ordinance requires special use permits for truck and trailer parking, freight cartage, truck repair facilities, and the sale of new and used trucks and trailers. Staff believes that the truck and trailer parking marshaling center, subject to the city's payment in lieu of taxes fee, pilot fee, which requires a property owner of a truck parking facility to make an annual payment to the city for every truck or trailer parking space at their site. City approved the pilot ordinance in 2021 to help fund City of Joliet road maintenance costs caused by heavy truck using facilities that generate low property taxes. Petitioner may be requesting a waiver from payment of this fee from the City Council. Under conditions, the zoning board desires to recommend approval of the special use permit request for truck and trailer parking, freight cartage, and truck and trailer repair, including bodywork and painting, with the following conditions shall be included. One, that the development will be subject to the city's pilot fee unless waived by City Council. Two, temporary outdoor storage of trucks and trailers awaiting to be serviced or to be picked up shall be limited to 10 days and shall be located in an area designated on a final site plan. Three, no temporary long-term outdoor storage of inoperable vehicles, boats, recreational vehicles, or parts, including tires, shall be permitted. Four, that the sale of used trucks and trailers shall be accessory to the principal use at the subject property. Five, sales shall be restricted to designated parking stalls that were approved with the site plan for the construction of the pit stop, and the location of the sales shall not impede circulation at the subject site. Six, that a site plan and landscaping plan shall be submitted and approved by staff as part of the future building permit application process. Seven, that architectural plans shall be submitted and approved by staff to ensure compliance with the city's non-residential design standards as part of the future building permit application process. Eight, that a city business license be secured prior to opening. And nine, failure to comply with any of the above conditions could result in a rehearing and a possible revocation of the special use permit. And that concludes our staff report.
Petitioner present. You swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth under penalty of law.
I do.
Name and address, please.
Yes, my name is John Philipchuk. I'm an attorney of offices at 111 East Jefferson Avenue in Naperville, Illinois. With me this afternoon is Mr. Rocky Kaler, who is the president and CEO of Cadence Premier Logistics. Kristen Bruns, who is an engineer with Jacob and Hefner, and Kelly Conley, who is with Sam Schwartz, our traffic engineering consulting firm. So So we're happy to be before you this afternoon. It's an exciting event for Cadence because of the fact that we're able to stay in Joliet as a Joliet existing business and expand our operations. The site over at Laramie Crossing, very congested with, you know, all that's going on over at the other uses that are in the area. And so we're happy to be able to assemble a piece of ground that's this large that we were able to then go in and create the marshalling center. Part of what we do there is there's a rotation of the tractor trailers and the actual trailers that are used by Cadence. Cadence is a point-to-point freight line, and so they don't bring the objects in and move them around and then ship them back out again. We don't take anything to the intermodal. Our trucks go all over the country delivering goods to various places. We have a lot of refrigerated units, so we do a lot of fruit hauling from various parts of the country, you know, seasonally. So what happens is they constantly rotate their stock, and so we have in that marshalling area a lot of new vehicles come in, new tractors, and there is equipment that's put on those by Cadence. So some of those parking stalls are for those trucks. When we take trucks out of service, there's some work that has to be done to them, and then they're sold. So we purchase the new vehicles and we sell the ones that we've had. We generally do that with some warranty left on them so that the buyers have the ability then to utilize those trucks with warranty protections. So as part of what we'll be using that yard for is for that transition of those. Plus when our drivers come in to pick up a trailer to go out on the road, that's where they'll leave their private automobile. So you can kind of see the rotation. Certain times of the year get busier than others, because ultimately this year we'll be transitioning in 250 new tractors. Not as many trailers, but probably 25, maybe 30 tractor trailers will come in also. In addition to that particular center, what we call the pit stop building, we are truck parts sales company also, in addition to selling our used trucks. So we'll have a showroom in that pit stop building to show our trucks to potential buyers in an indoor environment. And then we have repairs in the back. We are not going to do body and painting work. That is going to stay over on the east side of Chicago Avenue. So you can disregard that. That was an early thought request, but we've since decided we would not do any of that work on this site. So what we will be doing though, this facility is one that is licensed to provide the federal mandated inspections that are annual inspections for tractors and trailers. And so anybody operating these vehicles once a year have to come in and get them inspected. That is one of the functions that we will be providing in pit stop. And of course repairs. If something is found that needs a repair, we can do it. If someone's coming in just for repairs, we'll be able to do that. Plus obviously we do our own repairs on our vehicles, but that's part of what will go on. And then we have some parts sales, truck parts sales also will take place for that building. And then as was mentioned in the staff report, we'll probably have a restaurant facility, probably like a breakfast, lunch that would be open to the public, and perhaps a barber shop, maybe a beauty shop, some other ancillary type of uses, complementary uses. We'll have like a break room and showers for our mechanics that work in the pit stop building. So that's kind of what will be going on in that particular building. And in our third structure, we call our warehouse, we get parts in, they come in by truck, and they are stored in that building that go out to different, sometimes to new truck sales companies around the country. For instance, you might have one of the deer guards, the big heavy grills that go on the front of the trucks. We might have some of those would come in and then they'd go out to various, Peterbilt or Volvo or somebody like that would put them on their trucks when they go out. So that would be product that comes in, is stored there, and then goes out like either over to the parts store or it goes out, shipped out to other spots in the country for those that need truck parts. We even do, parts for like pickup trucks and smaller truck vehicles. then it's going to be office space in that particular building. There are several cadence companies. I think if you looked at the brochure, you'd see them in there, but those kinds of operations will take place as far as some of the administrative offices that come in there. And one that we think is very important is a training center. We try to educate young people who are trying to come up maybe out of high school, get into the trucking industry, so we can provide classroom spaces for those kinds of trades to be able to come in and train. And we have something that we find very rewarding, and that is Cadence Care Foundation operates from here. So we get food supplies that come in, and then they go out to the various needy food providers in the area. And of course, when we get major problems in our country, we have sent rigs full of food and supplies to the hurricane victims like Texas and some of the other locations. Not as part of a government program, as part of a Cadence program. They do it without being repaid, and we'll send drivers and trucks with supplies and necessary things for people who have those kinds of needs. And Cadence is very proud of the record on being able to support that. So as a growing entity here in the city of Joliet, they're very proud of their achievements, and find that acquiring this additional property, allowing them to expand their business, would be very beneficial to them and to the surrounding area and to the city. I know as part of a special use request, you have some findings of the fact that the board will find, in addition to the ones that we have provided that are in your packets today. Just briefly point out that a lot of the existing obsolete and dilapidated buildings that exist down there on Chicago Avenue will be removed as part of this expansion down there. So you'll see these beautiful new buildings constructed as they're shown in the brochure that I think that you received with the wonderful pictures of these. And so I think with the requirements of the city as far as their landscaping requirements and what goes into the buildings themselves, I think you'll agree that this will be a wonderful addition to that area. It'll help clean up some of the area down in South Chicago, and will certainly not be detrimental. It'll increase property values in the area. It'll increase retail sales taxes for the community. It will be an increase in property taxes, increase in jobs. We think we've designed this in working with the city, and the city's working with IDOT to do that new intersection improvement with Emerald Drive, a wider intersection with signalization. That's key to our operations, obviously. Previously, I did some work for the Speedway organization. We have plans approved for that, as you probably know, and we're waiting the final IDOT approval so that Speedway can go ahead and get started on the extension of Emerald Drive, which will ultimately be a major way in and out of this particular location. So we see no adverse effects on the traffic circulation in the area. We see only better and improved conditions coming in this particular area. Utilities are out there to be able to serve the property adequately. We'll be extending anything that needs to come up to the building. So there has been no petitions before with regard to this property. So we would respectfully request that the Zoning Board of Appeals would pass a favorable recommendation for approval of the special use. Thank you.
Thank you.
Answer any questions you might have.
Comments or questions by the board?
Will there be any turn-in lanes off of 53 for that entrance of your property?
We will have a right-in, right-out where Rachel Avenue is now. We're vacating Rachel, but it will become a private drive. So that'll be it's an existing right-in, right-out. It'll continue. But yes, there'll be all new turn lanes at the intersection of Emerald and 53. So, and that'll be our main access in and out of our site. It'll be Emerald Drive and ultimately up to Marcella, and then Marcella is going to ultimately be extended down to Laramie.
So is the turn-in lane part of your property?
That's not what we're doing, no. We are going, there have been some right-of-way dedications that will be coming in order to support the intersection improvement. But I don't think there's anything right now that we have to do, but anything that we do need to
Jim, have you seen any turn-in lanes that are gonna be put in through there?
Well, I would guess bring your attention to the site plan that's on your screen right now. You see the east-west dotted line? That's what John was referring to as what is a public street right now, but is being proposed as a private drive. So that will cut through, and it is being proposed as a right-in, right-out only. And that could access the warehouse, the pit stop building to the south, and then get through to the marshaling center to the back. But there's also off-site is Emerald Drive, which is currently at the intersection over by the Amazon and goes back to the IKEA on the east side of Route 53. That is being proposed as part of that Speedway gas station that's supposed to be there at that corner, south of the doctor's office. That will be a road that goes all the way through to Marcella, back to the marshaling center. You could see it just off the bottom of the screen. I think Jane's might be bringing something else up. You could see Emerald Drive on Route 53 on the east side. There's that red right-of-way skinny parcel that is shown. That will be the extension of Emerald Drive. That's where it is dedicated currently. Like John referred to, it will be dedicated further as either part of a future subdivision or just straight dedication, again, to get back to the marshaling lot. And that will be full interchange with traffic signals and everything, and that should be starting in spring of 2022.
Try to answer it.
Any other questions or comments by the board? Anyone in the audience wishing to speak in favor? Is there anyone opposed? Want to come forward, please? Yeah, come up to the dais. I must swear you in also. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth under penalty of law?
Yes.
Your name and address, please.
Shirley Dolphin, 206 Zurich Road, Joliet.
Okay.
I just don't understand, I'd like to maybe have somebody point out exactly where this proposed is. I don't understand.
We could possibly meet with you afterwards and explain it in great detail, but if you know where, do you know where Pheasant Run Road is?
It's across, yeah.
Okay, so that will be their main drive into their facility, but on the west side of Route 53.
Okay.
So there's currently, I think, a liquor store there, doctor's office, and some other commercial uses. So they're showing that as part of their proposal. There's some of that they still have to acquire. So, but it'll be behind those to the west to the railroad tracks in the back.
Okay, and I'm wondering, I saw a line, is that a road that's gonna go to Zurich Road?
No, nothing will go to Zurich Road.
So there won't be an entrance or an exit?
No, they are not that far north.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else wishing to speak against the petition? Come forward. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth under penalty of law?
I do.
Name and address.
Dawn Kalis, 240 Zurich Road. So my concern is that, the road that goes to Zurich Road, the one that's like going to the back of their property, is on our plat, like a half of it right there. So I wanted to make sure that there's not going to be any, usage where they're going to be driving construction trucks or anything up and down the road right there. It's considered West Zurich. I think.
There should be no reason for them to utilize your local road for that. All their construction traffic should come off of Route 53.
Okay, so, and the entrance of the whole, like, there's not gonna be a back entrance? To
No.
where the warehouse is, cause my understanding is it's at the corner of where I live.
No. Everything will go south to that Emerald Drive, again, over there by the Amazon. That will be the main road for all these uses. You know,
Okay,
and
so
we'll
there's
see the
no
most
possibility,
traffic.
cause I have kids living there and stuff.
No, there's no possibility with this existing plan,
Okay, that's all I had.
okay?
Thank you. Anyone else? If not, Chair closes the petition to the floor and asks the board for discussion and a motion.
I move we approve.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve the petition. Poll the board, please.
Ms. Sanford?
Aye.
Mr. McShane?
Aye.
Mr. Noctre?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Ms. Rohr?
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy?
Aye. Thank you.
So that will go to the city council, I believe that's December 20th and 21st, with the accompanying zoning changes and annexation agreements, ideally if planning commission recommends them for approval. That is the last new business item on our agenda. Under old new business, not for final action or recommendation, we have none. Under public comments, this section is for anyone wanting to speak regarding non-agenda items and are allowed to speak a maximum of 4 minutes. It's not a question and answer period, and staff and the Zoning Board of Appeals does not generally respond to public comments. Please note, speakers who engage in conduct injurious to the harmony of the Zoning Board of Appeals shall be called to order by the presiding officer, may forfeit the opportunity to speak. Is there anybody that would like to speak on non-agenda items? Seeing none, we can move on to adjournment if that is your desire.
Okay, motion to adjourn would be in order.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting. Poll the board.
Mr. McShane?
Aye.
Mr. Noctre?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Ms. Sanford?
Aye.
Ms. Rohr?
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy?
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Question for you.
Thank you.